Massena Memorial Hospital, any update there? Not, I mean, good month, right, John?
Yeah, I didn't make the meeting the other night,
Did,
but, yeah, they made money.
Yeah. I was looking through the financial, some things look better. As far as,
Yeah, definitely,
revenues,
the
expenses.
revenue, was one of the highest revenue months they've had in a long time, over 4 million, so that's a good thing.
And it's good to see Bob really working hard on the ER. He's doing programs to make that better. It's
Yeah, we're
very
gonna,
positive.
obviously, we're gonna have to see how the rest of the year goes, because we made money last month, but we're still behind for the year. We've lost money for the year. Obviously, again, significantly less than last year. But we need to be to a point where we're making money every month, right? So we can start investing back in the business, because we still haven't done a lot of that lately. So, but it's definitely looking better.
All right. Updating the video, haven't put down a solid date, mid-June, they'll be back to reshoot a couple portions. Hopefully get that wrapped up by July, I would hope by the end of July. We have some vacancies to consider filling, still a vacancy on the MED board. I heard back from the MED board that you don't have a recommendation at this point for us. Last week, Jim tried to tell you. Yeah.
Okay, they had a name and
Didn't work out.
okay.
Yeah. He basically said, you know, we don't have any other options. If you have one, let us know.
They meet tomorrow. And again, I would feel more comfortable receiving it and listen to the word again, recommendation from you.
Okay.
All right.
We have a vacancy in the dog control officer. Current one resigned effective May 8th. We had a proposal for the Humane Society to take over that role. We currently spend $10,000 a year. Humane Society's proposal is for, I think, $12,500.
13.5.
I'm sorry. They would do it a little differently than they've done in the past. They would provide, where is it? You guys have got it in front of me, I know. Oh, I got one. I got my signature. Hold on, let me just find it. There it is. That's too easy. To be employed by the dog control officer, should be employed by the Humane Society. They'll enforce New York State Ag and Markets Law, Article 7 regarding licensing dangerous dogs and seizure of stray dogs. Coverage will be available during normal business hours with emergency calls taken after hours. And so they respond to emergencies after hours, but they're not going to respond to, you know, barking dog or something like that. Dogs will be handled and transported according to New York State Ag and Market Law. Dog complaints will be addressed within a 24-hour period. Daily log will be kept recording all calls.
Is Bob retiring, Bob Sarfield?
He submitted his resignation, didn't give a reason.
Have we had any communications with him other than that?
I tried to get a hold of him and have not been successful. I left him a message again today.
Yeah, because
Well, I was talking to
I
the chief.
understand. But if we sweeten the pot, he might.
I was talking to
And
the
we
chief.
got a $3,500 gap there now.
Yep.
And my concern is, I think we've had less issues with Bob Summerfield as our dog control officer than when we had the Humane Society in the past. Because they did do this before.
Yes, they did.
And I remember, the one thing I do remember was that dog on Denison Road that they wouldn't, it was a crazy dog. The neighbors were calling and the Humane Society wouldn't go. They were afraid of the dog, you know, weren't sure what the heck we were gonna do at that time, you know, because it's our responsibility, so.
I talked with the chief of police. They obviously are looking for somebody, looking for it to be filled as quickly as possible. He and I had a discussion about, people complain about their neighbor's dog barking. He doesn't really consider that a law enforcement issue. I don't consider it a dog control issue. We decided, the two of us, that it's a neighbor issue. If you have a problem with your neighbor's dog barking, go talk to your neighbor about it. You know, if it's loud, if it's disturbing, well then that's, I guess it is a law enforcement matter. But the call, I had a complaint against the former dog control officer, he didn't respond to the barking dog. This resident apparently is quite sensitive to barking dogs. So he calls a lot when there's a dog barking. And he wasn't convinced that his calls were getting responded to in a timely manner.
Yeah.
It's a
Will
thankless
this be any
job.
different though?
It's a thankless job. No, I don't
You know,
think it
does
will.
the ag and market law, Article 7, because that's what they're gonna
Right,
pin their service on.
that's right.
Does it say that anywhere in there that you have to respond to barking dogs? I doubt it.
Probably not.
So it's not gonna be any different.
No, I'm
They're
not,
not gonna wanna,
right, and I'm not trying to
the Humane
criticize.
Society's not gonna wanna go up to somebody and say, you gotta do something with your dog anymore than.
Right, and I'm
Some
not,
feel-
and I'm not criticizing, I'm not, yeah.
Which again,
Yes,
it does become a
yeah.
police
Because we
issue.
have to swear them
If it's
in.
disturbing.
We have
There's
to
an
take an
ordinance.
oath.
Disturbing.
There's an ordinance, the cops gotta do
Yeah.
something,
Yes,
whether they like it or not.
yes.
The, and I wasn't trying to criticize him, it's just that there are some instances where you're never gonna get a solution to some people's satisfaction.
No, except that when a cop shows up, you're more likely than if a dog control, or we make a complaint on the phone from the town board. You're much more likely if a uniformed police officer shows up at your front door and says, you gotta do something. But, so, I don't know why they don't think that they have a responsibility.
I don't know why the Humane Society answered that. I know Bob, who's had problems in the past, he gets a trooper or somebody to go with him. He doesn't wanna have an issue either.
With a homeowner.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
How will the Humane Society cover this? Is it gonna be multiple people, or is it gonna be one person? Are they trained?
They didn't tell me specifically how they would cover it.
Insurance
They just said they
issues?
said they would guarantee coverage.
In the past, when they did it, Heidi did it, we swore her in. I don't know, we'll have to find out who it is.
The job was very hard, she said.
They,
Very
honest,
sure,
hard.
yeah.
They-
Time
right.
consuming, she wouldn't wanna do it
It
again.
is dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who would, the insurance, I assume would fall under the Humane Society, not under the town?
they're gonna need to have their own insurance, Bob did, Bob had his own insurance.
Yeah.
Can I say something about Bob?
Sure.
I think, working in the dog licensing that we do, he has brought in more people to license their dogs than anyone we've ever had.
yes.
He's in almost daily, checking on dogs. He gets a list of delinquents and he checks on them. I just feel that he's done more for us and brought more money in for us than anyone we've ever had. I mean, he was really dedicated, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I just feel like John, I think you try to sweeten the pot. And
I just think it's odd that you would resign from a job and not come and say, I'd stick around if I had more money. Apparently, there's a reason that he wouldn't do it, didn't wanna do it, right? I don't know what, I appreciate the job he did a great job, as Pam says.
Yeah.
But if the guy doesn't wanna do the job, he doesn't wanna do the job apparently. If he needs more money, he should say that. And I tried to get him to talk to him about that, and I wasn't successful.
he doesn't return the calls.
Well, I left him a message today, so I'm not gonna say, who knows when he may call back since we've been up here, I don't know. But, no, I think and I couldn't, for some reason, the cell phone I have for him wasn't ringing. So, and our old cell phone rang, but I realized it was in my office, the one I used to have for us. I got the voicemail, it was full.
Oh, your phone's not working.
I agree with you on that. You know, when people take that action, it's serious action. And somebody resigns.
I think if he didn't have to respond to barking dogs and getting calls at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, I think he was a lot overwhelmed by that.
Yeah. And
And
yeah,
he shouldn't have to be 24/7.
No, and I talked to the Humane Society about that, they won't be either.
And they won't be either, so he shouldn't. And I think that's.
But
his
calls,
first.
when someone calls and leaves a message, it would be nice for them to get a call saying, I can't get there right now, I'll get there tomorrow. And that's gonna be an issue with anybody.
yeah.
And they need to return calls and let people know. The people are gonna be mad, they're gonna be screaming, you're not coming? Well, no, I'm not coming, that's the way it is. You can't be a nice guy.
And
all
they
the
are
time. I
saying
found
that,
out. I
they
used to
are
be
saying
nice.
that a daily log will be kept recording all calls. I guess one thing I think we should ask, if we do